up, y'all? I'm Davitson. Welcome to another episode of a Better Understanding podcast. Today we have a special guest, founder of Love Me, Keep Me Safe, a woman with a beautiful soul. I'd like to welcome y'all, Elena.
Thank you.
So what's up?
Nothing. What's up?
That's it?
Hold on. I need to. You got me crying over here.
So how was your drive today?
The drive was good. Excited.
No traffic?
Not a lot of traffic coming over here. What made you think of me to put me on the podcast?
I just chose you. Nah.
Seriously?
Nah, I thought you were cool. I thought you were pretty cool. You're into like spiritual, like awakening.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're into like mental health and just everything. Like I feel like you're like the neighborhood therapist.
Aw, thank you.
That's what I think.
That's cute. I like that. That's what I'm gonna put that in my bio. Neighborhood therapist. Boom.
Yeah.
No, I'm really big on mental health. I think, well, it's kind of, I guess you could say snowball it. Love Me, Keep Me Safe started, it was something else like years ago. And I just used it on Instagram as a platform to kind of like speak about what I was going through. People that know me know I'm a writer. So it was a lot like through poetry and stuff like that. And then I had like friends of ours or people I didn't know kind of chime in. And then it just kind of blew up from there. I was consistent with it. And then I got to a point where I started to go through my own awakening and healing through PTSD and trauma, stuff like that I was dealing with. And when you're dealing with stuff like that and trying to get over it, there's a lot of triggers that come up that you have to work through. And so I think that's where I just kind of started. I had nobody to talk to. I didn't have a go-to, right? Or somebody I could fully trust, and I only knew how to only knew how to express myself through words or poetry or whatever. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just be myself and just start posting, and then I hope it helps somebody. And I had some friends that I lost along the way due to mental health. And it's always like the common denominator. It's always like, I wish I had somebody to talk to. I wish somebody didn't judge me. I wish I could just express myself. And
So do you feel like you're that person now?
What do you mean?
Like you said you always felt like you needed someone to talk to. Do you feel like you're that person kind of?
Yeah. I think that's always kind of been me.
Yeah.
You know, like I obviously didn't know it at the time, but I was like the go-to person. The joke amongst friends and stuff like that was like, oh, everybody's personal therapist type of thing, you know? And I think one thing about me with everything that I've been through, which some of which you know, because we go way back.
We go way back.
Back into time. That everything I've been through, I never want somebody, like I'm real passionate about that. I never want somebody to feel like they're not seen, they're not heard. I never want somebody to feel like they have nobody to talk to. I never want somebody to feel like people don't understand. Because there are people like myself, like I'm a deep person. I'm a lot. I'm not for everybody, right? But I'm a deep person.
You're Cancer.
Exactly.
Cancers are crazy.
Cancers are the best. Fun fact.
I'm not a Cancer though.
No, yeah, right. But what was I gonna say? Oh, so it's just like that and the rest of my chart because I do astrology and stuff like that too. But I'm very. It's almost like a drive in me. Like if I feel like somebody's struggling, and it's just like a knowing, right? Like clairvoyance, clairsentient type of stuff, where you just have the ability to know or you sense something. And I could kind of sense that with people. Like if they're going through something, it could be somebody we know or somebody I don't know. And then they're like, oh, wow, you said the right thing, or you knew the right thing to say, or thank you, type of thing. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like not too long ago, I was like, damn, Elena's like an angel. Like no, but like not too long ago, I think I was like going through something, like just in life. I was lifing. And then you're like, hey, bro, I hope everything is okay. I said, wow. I'm like, somebody checked on me.
Oh,
In general, you're like, because you don't get that all the time.
yeah.
But it wasn't just checking. It was about everything, just mental health and everything I'm going through.
Right, right. And that's big, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, not to kind of gear off subject, but like some of what I do or a lot of what I do now is helping people either with their gifts or go maneuver through things, obstacles, people that feel down and out, kind of like that. And it's kind of like I go by where I'm guided. So, for example, like how you said, hey, I hit you up and I was like, hey, bro, most likely I was sitting there and something felt called like, hey, hit up Davitson, you know? And that's kind of how that went. I know it sounds a little woo-woo, but oh, well, that's me. And that's how it always is. Some people.
I was like, what number was this? Who's this? No, I was just playing.
And I like the fact that in a world that's so superficial now, I think we're kind of walking away from it, but a lot of the around our generation type of thing, people just want to be heard and seen. And that's where like love me, keep me safe is. Like, I want nothing more than for, like, I hold the space for, I'll see you, I'll hold space for you. And not just, people like, oh, I hold space for this person, but a safe space, no judgment, you're not going to criticize them or anything like that. You're just going to be a safe space for them to talk or to vent or let it out or maybe just sit in silence. That's the big thing, right? And so I think we do a disservice to ourselves. It's the simplest thing to just check up on somebody.
Yeah.
And what's funny is you'll know who there's a phrase I saw and kind of like I live by it, which is the people that are aligned with you will never misunderstand you. So
that was dope. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had like a group of, because as you get older, you go through these different life cycles. So I went from a lot of friends to losing everybody, which was hard for me.
Do you feel like you find yourself more like anybody, like a person, like when you spend more time alone, like that's when you kind of find yourself, right? Well, because the more you're with people, you're just like the other people, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Absolutely, 100%. And there are different collectives out there, right? Some people are good with like rocking by themselves, right? And they can do that. There are other people that they need that alone time, but they don't mind. Like, they're meant to be out there and connect with other people because they have a purpose, right? Whether like you have a natural charisma about you, you're meant to connect to other people. Like, if you didn't do a podcast sitting across from somebody, it would be like you're not really gaining anything out of it, right? Because you're the voice to have other people's voices be heard. And then again, like this podcast or the podcast you've done before, it's going to resonate with somebody. It's going to connect with somebody. Right?
Yeah.
And so
I felt like I don't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
I feel like I chose to do, like, I never talked about this yet. I chose to do one-on-one because it's more personal.
Right.
And I feel like the more you're with like other friends, it's kind of like a laughing joke. Mm-hmm. When you one-on-one, like, you get the best of somebody, the real that person.
Right.
Right.
And I feel like that's what you're gonna do, 100%, because you're not. That's a gift.
People can't be themselves, and a lot of people can't even talk like one-on-one. Not even just on the mic, like in general, they can't even have they can't even keep a conversation, right?
Or they don't. It's not the right person. So, for example, like I had a few people before you that had reached out to me to do a podcast, and I always sit with the energy, and it was like either I wasn't ready, or I was just like it just wasn't, the vibe wasn't right, so I didn't go for it, right? And then like when you hit me up, I was like, it was just like boom, 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 boom.
You're like, yo, sister.
Yeah, I was like, what's up?
You coming on?
Right. I was
no
like,
matter what.
Right. And so, back to your original question, yeah, when you're in isolation or you go through, everybody kind of goes through what they call like a shadow work or disintegration of like everything that's around you, especially when you grow, you're younger, you grow up around friends and society. So you kind of somewhat, if you haven't found yourself or have a good foundation, you have made who you are based off of everybody else. So then when you isolate, things start to change. Your friendships start to change. You start to lose friendships, Your circle is how you see things. And the more that you sit with yourself and develop self-awareness, because if you isolate, it could do one or two things. You could get really depressed. If you don't know how to maneuver through it, which is kind of like what I help people with, it's like maneuvering through life changes, right? Growth, evolution. If you don't know how to do that, you can find yourself in a dark hole, which I found myself in.
It's not easy. Or like, what could you say to somebody that goes through like depression and anxiety? Like everybody else is different. Like we're all different. The way we deal with it.
I think that's a loaded question because it depends on the depression and anxiety. Where's it stemming from? Like usually, if I'm working with somebody and I can sense that that's what their first thing off the bat, I'm like, okay, I'm patient with them because I understand because I fought a lot of depression in my life.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Do you feel like a lot? I think like sometimes it's built off like childhood trauma. Like it's a lot of things like we don't know. Like like our families, like my family, like it's just things we don't know. So that kind of affects like our relationships, relationships with friends, with your spouse.
Right. So 100%, but it's not just depression, right? It's PTSD, right? It's conditioned learning. So when, for example, you grow up in the households we grew up in, right? And I'm trying to think. Okay, so your father's not in the picture. All right, you grow up in a household, your father's not in the picture. That affects both boy and girl. You don't realize it then. And the more that you get older, you realize that's where like father wounds and mother wounds come in, or maybe you have a mother who is very, many Asian moms are said to be disassociated emotionally, right? They're not as nurturing, compassionate. They're more like stern and, detached there. And so that's why it's like you grow up and it's not the kids that need those emotions, need that love, need that nurturing. You don't get that. So now you become an adult trying to figure that out, right? And you're like, damn, this kind of came from my mother, but your mother didn't know any better or your father didn't know any better, Oh. I was like, I heard that.
No, that's fine. They're just doing what they're taught. They're here to like survive and just keep food on the table, a roof over your head.
We are too,
so
though.
We try not to take it that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, everybody is different, right? So when you have somebody suffering through depression and anxiety, it's easy to tell that person like, oh, you'll get over that. It's not that serious. Like I've had people tell me like, and it's funny because I was surrounded by people at one point say, I don't even, like, how could you get depressed? Or even like people that get suicidal. Like, how could you get suicidal? I would never do that to myself. I love myself too much. Like, that's selfish of you, right? And it's like, damn, then you feel like you're unheard. Then you feel like, am I crazy? Am I stupid for feeling this way? And the reality is people feel that way.
Yeah.
And you have to, I think it's wrong to like, I think people need to be more aware of what they're saying. I'm not saying like your opinion is your opinion, but that is rooted in how you were raised, right? People that are like, oh, I would never kill myself, that's stupid, or I would never think suicidal thoughts, excuse me, like, I don't know if you want to edit that out, but, I would never unalive myself, that's stupid and you're weak for that. That will damage somebody that's going through that.
Yeah.
It puts them in a darker hole because then they think like,
because they feel like they don't go through that, so they feel like you shouldn't be going through that if I went through this.
Right. And for them, it's so easy, right? Oh, I don't do that. I get over it. And not everybody works that way. So it's just like I think us being more consciously aware of what somebody else is going through and taking the time to say, hey, you good? Whether it's a friend, whether it's a stranger. Like, I'll go up to strangers if I see them, like, hey, everything okay, whatever.
Yeah, yo, who the hell are you?
Yeah, right. But it's bringing, whether, call it cliche, but love and compassion back out into the world. Like, that type of thing, like that frequency, but raising that frequency. And then handling it. If you know somebody that's suffering with depression or anxiety, have space for them, understand it. Understand where it's coming from. It's not all coming from the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like it comes with like, or how I see it, like from the outside in, people, they sometimes feel like they don't like fit in, and everybody wants to fit in, everybody wants to be comfortable, and yeah, that plays a part of it too.
And when it comes to depression and anxiety,
like even because I feel like social media kind of plays a factor as much as like we don't call it from social media, because people could easily, I don't know, be jealous, like
Right.
all sorts of. Like, what do you think social media plays a factor?
Absolutely. 100%. Because okay, let's get the I guess the basic, right? So it's
Let's
like
dig deep.
that's what I am. I'm deep. The basics is like, for example, body shaming. You had that was a big thing. Now people are more of like accepting natural bodies. Nothing against anybody who got their body done or whatever, but like it's pushing that envelope, right? These young girls that just or men that have social media, there's certain influences on there, and
Yeah.
like I mean that's a whole other loaded conversation, but there's certain influence on there that could influence our youth in a bad way, in a negative way, right? When it comes to we'll just stay around like our age type of thing, in social media. If somebody I've had people like, well, every time I see somebody post everything's so positive and I'm not feeling positive.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of them you see too, yeah.
Yeah. So
So it's like the positive stuff they see, they're like, ew, what is this?
right.
Like, they don't care. Not that they don't like it, they just don't care for that.
And that's because of where
Some
they're
people,
at, though.
yeah, some people don't like, they like the negative light. They, they go through that.
But so here's the thing, like I think it's what we're gravitating towards, or where we are in our journey. So, true story. I had somebody tell me like, oh, like Elena or Ling, hey, I assume that I think you kind of like that, and I'm like what? And they're like depression and being all sad all the time. And I was like, what? So I'm Eeyore from like Winnie the Pooh, and they're and I didn't know this, but like a lot of people were like, consider me that, and I'm just like, well, it's not that. Like, it's not like I like to be sad. Nobody likes to be sad or down or whatever. I think it was, and where I was in my life in that journey, I was going through a lot of healing, right? So, in order for me to kind of get through it, I needed to be around people that understood it.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
it. You think like kids help?
Yeah. If so, talking off my experience and people I know, like if it wasn't for my kids, I don't know where I'd be. Like they because of them, my girls, like they keep me
Like there's a
going.
purpose on why you're here.
There's a purpose, and they're so different, but they're hilarious. Like they're like kind of like jokesters, like how you and your brothers used to be and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just hilarious. And so they pull me out of it. And certain friends do. Like I don't let throughout my journey, we all have a different journey, and there's things that we have to learn. So this is a part of your journey, right? You can, divine timing or whatever, but then there is a call for action. So that's where I was like, do the podcast. You got this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you gotta get over the fear to do it. That's part of your journey. In my journey, there's not many people that are allowed to talk to me sideways, kind of thing. And so
What do you mean by that?
So I was really, really down one day, really depressed. I was not in the best state of mind at all. And I had called a friend, and my friend, he just went off on me. Not in a negative way, but went off on me. If it was anybody else, I probably would have cussed them out, hung up the phone, not heard anything they said, right? But because he went off on me the way that he did, and because of the love that I have for him as a friend, I was like, it woke me up out of it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you need to get out of the loop, out of the spiral, right? When you're battling something that other people can't understand, especially when you're surrounded by people. Again, you go back to kids. You can't really stay sad or depressed because you have to be a mom or a dad. You have to work. You have to do all the responsibilities. You have to take care of home. And then, extending off of that.
And like the honest truth, like the kids can't see you like that.
Right.
As much as
Exactly.
they should see it, it's okay. But to always see you like that, like
It's not healthy.
that's not healthy for the kids.
Right. And I went through that, and you have parent guilt. Like there were times I would just kind of go to the bathroom, lock the door, and have my moment. But because my girls are getting older, I don't want them, because again, that's what we were taught, right? So
Yeah.
I don't want them to feel like I'm really, really big on their emotional safety and emotional maturity. Like huge. Mental health is top priority to me. So like I'll teach them like, hey, listen, you're sad. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be sad. Let's talk about it. Or like my one daughter, like she's like doesn't want to talk. She just needs alone time. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's like learning your kids, right? Your kids teach you things. So I have one child. She's not affectionate at all. You gotta kind of like where I'm just like lovey-dovey, let me hug you, kiss you. She's like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have to let her come to me, and she does that now. The other daughter, she is more of, she feels very deeply like I do. So when she's hurt or she's frustrated, she just needs that time alone to kind of like decompress. So now we have like a little thing. She'll just be like, Ma, I need a hug. And I'm like, okay. And it's like the exchange of energy, right?
Oh, that's cool though. Yeah.
Or she'll be like, my social battery is drained. I need like 5 hours by myself. I'm like, cool, got you, kid.
Wait, 5 hours?
Yeah, well, she's exaggerating.
Oh.
But like, yeah. She just needs to kind of.
Like you said 5 minutes. She said hours?
Yeah, not 5
Man,
hours.
that's a long time.
But, you know, certain people need different things. She's a creative mind. She's very artistic, you know, and she needs that time. Like, she can go out there and mingle with people, and then after that, she needs, like, a day to herself because it's just too much, you know?
Was there a time, like with one of your kids, like, nothing specific, but, like, that made you feel, like, whole, like, this is why I'm a mom?
Yeah. I get more of seeing them laugh and happy. I would say like is my constant, right? Don't get me wrong. We all as parents sometimes get frustrated when you have more than one kid and they're laughing and screaming and carrying on or acting up and oh, be quiet, don't say that, da da da. Like I was in the car with my sister and they were like being ridiculous in the back and she was like, Elena, and she was like, you want me to tell him to calm down because I had a migraine? I was like, no, it's good. She was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. She's like, it's not going to bother you? I said, no, I actually like hearing this. It actually brings me peace. She was like, why? I said, because they deserve to laugh. They deserve to have fun. And these are the memories you don't get back, right, when you're a kid.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I don't, like, know how, like, your mom... I know your mom.
Yeah, I know.
But in general, like what you went through, I don't know how her parent style, like the way she did things, because you would look back, like especially like with like Asian folks, like foreign parents, like not to say they don't get it, but we didn't get like the same treatment, so it's almost like get away.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying to you before, culturally, right?
Yeah.
So my mother,
there's like an ongoing joke that like especially with Cambodian parents, like they would do something bad or something that's not right. They're wrong, calling you out, but then they'll be like, "Manyam bai." That means come eat rice. Like after all of that, they just did. Yeah. Just come eat some rice, and we're like, "Oh, okay."
Well, that's like my mom. Like so me and her actually we didn't have the best relationship for a long time because I'm very transparent. So, like, I was in the system for a long time. Then got back with my mother much later in life. Had to help her raise my brothers and sisters the best that I could. My father wasn't around at that time. And she was just a different mom. She was depressed. She wasn't the mom I left, you know? But so it strained our relationship with everything that transpired. Then I became an adult, right? And we had these conversations. And she was like, listen, I was like, I was like, the one thing that all your girls and your children need from you is like the emotional support, and you don't have that. And she was like, I never had that either. She was like, because I'll show you pictures, but like, yeah. She was like, in my household, very strict Asian household. She was like very Chinese, like very, we don't talk about those things.
If you want to say like what's your mom's nationality and your dad?
Oh, so. My mother is Chinese. I found her father. She didn't know her father at the time, a couple of years ago, but he's Russian, Polish, Irish, German. And then I think from her mother's side is the Egyptian part. And then my father is Puerto Rican, Spanish.
So you're like exotic. You're everything.
Everything, a little bit of everything.
A mix of everything.
But she resonates more. That's how she was raised, Chinese. So, like it was like that. You don't really talk about feelings, like none of that. So that's how she was. And I understood that. Like I started to, and this is kind of what I tell people, like your parents, right? I was literally just telling a client this on the phone just before I got here. Parents, sister, brother, boyfriend, whatever, friend, right? Those are labels. You have to stop seeing people as your label and start seeing them like they're their own individual person, no matter their age, and their own journey, trying to figure life out, And that's how I started seeing my mother. I took away her being my mother and saw the little girl in her, you know.
Oh,
I
that's cool to
yeah.
like to even think like that. Yeah.
Right. And I saw the pain that she went through, the family she didn't have and she always needed, the lack of a father, because she went through a lot. You know, like Asian parents are strict.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
they don't. And she kind of went through some on her own jealousies with her own mother, you know. So it was just like stuff like that. And then we had this conversation, and she started to really heal herself. And I said, I get that, but now you can change that, right? You can change how you are with we. This is what we need from you, you know. But I mean, she's working on it. It's just it's hard, like you said. We didn't get that.
Yeah.
So now we're adults trying to figure that out, and that's what I try to explain to her. But then they forget, right? So it's like I was trying to explain, you know, my mother and my father. One day we were having a conversation, and not to get like all personal, something had. My father used to say this thing to me. He wasn't, you know, wasn't the best version of himself at that time, and it made me like want to like just prove myself to him, you know. When he came back in the picture, it was kind of like, oh, you're not shit, you're never gonna be shit type of thing at a young age. You know
Oh
what I'm
wow.
saying? Yeah. But then you understand his story. You know, he came from very strict Spanish parents. That's another culture. That's a whole other, you know. Not that it makes an excuse for it, but it's like a lot of these things he would say to kind of just, it was his way, like tough love. It's he thought, because that's how he was raised, if I'd say this to them, it's going to make them tougher. And don't get me wrong.
Because that's how they learn.
Exactly. And there was a lot of abuse and stuff, which, you know, today, God forbid, you know, anything goes on. But like me and my older two siblings, we had said to him when they were like, you know what, Dad, we went through a lot with you, but we're kind of grateful in a way because it taught us a lot too. Taught us more respect for people, respect for ourselves, other things, right? But I had this conversation with them, and they're like, well, did we do anything to you? Because I was having a conversation about one of my siblings to them. And I said, well, yeah, you told me this, and I was like, and you did this, and da-da-da-da. And they're like, I never did that. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? I was like, yes, that happened. And then I told him, I was like, I'm not holding it over you because I understand you guys were doing the best that you could do with what you were given. That's just, and that's your parents, that's my parents, that's everybody's.
Some parents are funny. Like when you kind of confront them on something that happened, they're like, that never happened.
Right.
Like, no, I remember that.
Right.
That was trauma for me.
Exactly.
I never did that. It's like, no, 100%. Not even 80,
100%.
100% that happened.
Right. And so, but I feel like people do that, right? They block it out. They don't realize, it goes back to that old saying where they're just like, people will remember the negative things more than they remember the positive things that you say, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's all the way around. And family, parenting, whatever. And I had said this to them, and I said, look, I don't blame you guys because you guys did the best. And they got really sad about it because they don't remember it. And I'm like, look, here's my thing now. You guys were doing the best that you guys could do, but now as an adult, I didn't have a childhood. I didn't have a teenagehood. Now as an adult, I'm trying to figure it out. And it sucks, you know?
Yeah.
I'm healing things. I'm trying to figure out things. I lost my parents at the most crucial years for children to learn emotional maturity, safety, you know, having certain like social boundaries, I guess you could say. So I lost all that because I went from like 8 and had to grow up very quickly, you know. And I told them like that's kind of what sucks now, but it's okay because I'm doing it, you know. I'm not blaming you guys anymore because at a certain point you can't continue to blame your parents. You got to forgive them. They did the best that they could, you know. Now as an adult,
that's good to say because a lot of people, they don't see that. Like eventually you're going to have to figure out you can't blame your parents no more.
Right, exactly.
Even though you could, but you can't. You got to like live life.
Right.
You have to.
You can't hold that weight on you.
You have to be a parent, yeah.
It's a burden, you know. I don't forget nothing. I'll forgive you, but I won't forget nothing. You know, so, and that's just not where parents, that trickles down into everything. So, and, you know, going back where you said, like, PTSD, childhood trauma, yeah, a lot of things that we have went through is childhood trauma or PTSD. But you also still experience PTSD if you have a bad relationship, if you have a bad friendship, like if you're grieving. I think, like, the worst thing for me to do in my adulthood was grieve the loss of friendships. That was hard for me because when I was younger, especially when I moved to our town, I used to call everybody like, "That's my cousin, that's my brother, whatever." Yeah. But that's because
especially us, especially the Asian people. That's my cousin. That's my other cousin. And it's the worst when they're like, "I'm not your cousin."
Right, exactly.
Like, damn.
All out in the open. But that's because I didn't. I was trying to fill a void, right? Of like I needed attachment somewhere. I was trying to create a family because I didn't have the family kind of thing growing up. Grieving friendships. So when I was grieving the friendships of adulthood, that's why it was so traumatizing for me. Like, and for them, they were like, "We're older now. Like, we shouldn't have to." I literally had a friend say to me, like, "You know, what the F, Elena? We're this age, and it shouldn't matter." Da da da. And I was like devastated because it was somebody I thought we were gonna grow old together, type of thing, like friendship type of thing. But that's part of my journey is to lose the people around me. Like, it's all in my chart. Like, to lose the people around me, build new connections, and kind of like save myself in a way I was looking for people to save me. You know, if that makes sense. But yeah, you know, like and it's PTSD is not. I think people think, oh yeah, PTSD or trauma is all childhood trauma. No, that's not true.
I remember a couple of times just being alone, like playing alone. Like, I remember those times, even though I had times where like family, friends, but for some reason, like those times I was alone, I like felt that, like just being outside alone. Like, why do I feel so alone as a kid? Right. But like, don't get me wrong, I got so much like family and friends, but I remember those times that hit harder when I was alone. Like, why am I alone?
Stick out. Yeah. And so is that do you realize that's or do you think of that as being like what's the positive in that now, looking back at it?
Now I like being alone. As adults, like, we think it's cool to be with all these people, but like being alone, I think it's pretty cool.
No, I think so. Be mindful of your energy. Like, I like my alone time, but I also like being around people, but I'm selective. Like, I'm real self-aware and selective of who I'm spending my time around now. You know, so it's just like, if it don't feel right, I'm not going. So, you know, love y'all. Not happening.
I think that's okay to not go.
Yeah. It's growth.
I wanted to bring up a story.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I don't think you remember this. I don't even think you like kind of noticed. There was like one time, like we were all like headed to the beach one day. You probably don't remember this story.
Yeah, Keith and them was there, right? Is that his name?
You have to bring that up, but yeah.
Oh.
So.
Sorry.
But yeah, it was a story. This was so funny. Like, I was like so insecure. Like, I feel like men are insecure too. Sometimes I talk to other men. They're like, I feel like I'm this. It was even a point in my life. Like, I don't have a 6-pack or nothing, but I always felt like, oh, I've been going to the gym for like over a decade. Like, I feel like if I don't have a 6-pack, I'm not taking my shirt off. And I feel like for men out there, like, it's okay. Like, if you feel good with yourself, just rock out. But I always felt like real like insecure, like taking my shirt off. I was like, I've been going to the gym this long. And then I asked other guys, they felt the same way. Either that or they felt like they were too skinny, they didn't have enough weight. Or they were overweight and they felt like they had to wear a t-shirt to go swimming. Where did I just go with that? Okay. Go back to the swimming. Okay. So we're headed to the beach. And I was like insecure, like my legs in general. Like I got hairy legs. And then one time we were in a rush to go to the beach. I remember, but I don't think you remember. I think I was like shaving like one side of my legs. And I remember you were over the house and you're like, yo, let's go. And I remember going to the beach. I only shaved one side of my legs. And I remember Elena just looking at my legs in the car, like staring at them. I don't even think you remember that.
I don't think I noticed. Did I notice?
Maybe you were zoned out.
Yeah, probably.
But I was that insecure.
Yeah.
We were on the way there. And like me having hairy legs, like, oh, I should shave my legs. So I was shaving one side and they were like, let's go now. So we left. I should have just, I don't know what I was thinking. So we were headed to the beach. I had shorts on. One side of my legs was all shaved. The other side had so much hair. And Elena just kept like staring at my legs in the car. And I'm like, she fucking sees my legs. Why did I fucking shave?
Sorry, I honestly like. I remember looking, but I think I was just zoned out.
You probably was zoned out, but I remember you were just staring at my legs. I'm like, fuck. Who does that?
So let's talk about that, right? I'm real big on that now.
Yo, that was like so funny. It was a funny moment. I was like, I don't even think Elena remembers that because I never even brought it up to you.
No.
But I remember like it was yesterday. I'm like, who the fuck shaves one side to go to the beach? I'm like, everybody's gonna look how hairy my legs are, but in general. But no, I'm okay with it now. But like being younger, like you not being secure yourself, you're thinking like, oh, should I shave? Like you don't even know.
Right.
Right.
So let's talk about that topic because it's big. Men's insecurity. Like I think I see it getting more momentum now, which is good. Mental health for men.
So I wanted to bring up men's mental health. That's one of like my podcasts, and one of the reasons I started a podcast. I feel like a lot of people requested men's mental health. Since we're talking about it,
go bring it up.
No. I said you could continue, but it was one of the subjects I wanted to bring up in this podcast.
We here. Let's go. I mean, I'm not a man, but from a woman's point of view.
From a woman's point of view, I wanted to hear your point of view.
Okay. So where I'm at now, like I think it's really important, and I guess passionate about it. Like,
you know what I feel too? I just cut you off.
It's okay.
I feel like in general, like some men, like you just have to like go through it, and one big factor in like men, like you have to lead, you have to just do it. So we kind of like we overthink a lot.
Yeah.
So we don't lead, and we try our best to lead all the time.
But that's a label, right?
Huh?
That's a label, right? Men gotta lead, right? So that's my thing. Like, I feel, and don't get me wrong.
And half the time we don't know. Like, you're not even sure, but you're hoping it's the right choice.
What leading?
But I don't blame it because like I feel like women make like plenty of choices, right?
Right.
They do that too. So.
But I'm talking about like I don't think enough. Okay, so women don't come from me, but like I understand like as women, as a society of feminine energy, whatever you associate yourself with, we've had to or felt like we had to be these like alpha females and tough and all this other stuff, right? Whatever. Now we have a group of men who are battling us to I don't know the exacts anymore, but like statistically, men's mental health is overpowering women's mental health right now.
Yeah.
And men need to feel special, need to be poured into, need to feel like they matter. I think a lot of women have disassociated themselves from even remembering how to do that. So it's just like I have a lot of guys that are like I know or clients or whatever, and I see like the pain that they're going through that the world doesn't see. It's just like, again, a simple like, hey, you okay? Or depending on your love language, right? Whether it's just friendship or platonic or what, romantic, I mean. Maybe it's just like rubbing your back or just taking 5 seconds. Like even as a mother or even as a significant other, like we go through a lot as we're planning stuff or whatever. As soon as that man walks through the door, don't just pour a bunch of crap on him. Give him a couple minutes to just relax, to get himself situated, kind of sit with the day, and then talk to him. Like, hey, babe, how was your day? Or, hey, like it's your brother. Like, hey, you good? Let's talk. Like, whatever. They want to, because I feel like men they feel like they have to hold these roles, right? I got to provide. I got to be a leader. I got to hold everything in. I can't feel pain. And what life is that?
Yeah.
Like, men are breaking down inside.
Almost feel like you're a superhero. Like there's no sadness in a man.
Right. And that's not not good. So it's just like I'll talk to like friends, and a lot of times, back to that friend that was like your Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. I was like, yeah, but when people shit hits the fan or they need something, people's going through something deep or whatever, I feel it and I bring that out of them. We talk about it. And they're like, yeah, that's what you're good at. And I'm like, oh, well, I thought you were like criticizing me. And they're like, well, yeah, kind of, sort of. I'm like, oh, thanks, whatever. But, during those moments, we need more women like that, I feel. Like, so certain friendships like I had, like there's, for instance, like one guy, like to the world, everybody loves him and he is amazing and everything else. And I knew something was off, and then I held that space as a friend. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you saw a different side of him. And I feel like men feel too vulnerable to show that side. Not realizing, like, I understand some women don't, but it's very attractive to be that way. It's very attractive to like be vulnerable and to be honest with your feelings because we're not mind readers. Whether it's a woman, a sister, you know, I mean, obviously a woman, but like whatever your spouse is, um, you're not a mind reader. So speak about it, express it. Men hold so much in, and then they beat themselves up, and then they get depressed, and their depression looks different. They either isolate, they throw themselves into work, and then they overexhaust themselves. You know,
Why do you feel like men isolate you? You feel like
because
their spouse is not listening. That plays a factor.
I think it's more of the. It could be depending on the situation, or it's more of like the, I gotta be tough. This is weak if I show myself, you know, type of thing.
Yeah, it's either weak or it's not attractive.
Right.
Like I'll listen, I'll love you, but it's not attractive.
Right. But I think that's what I'm saying. That's where women need to step up, right? As a sister, as a spouse, as a whatever, like I'm going to be so observant. And I think that's what women need to do too. Like we need to be very aware, very observant of our significant other, our man or our friend. So this way we hold that space for them, right? And they feel comfortable and safe to talk to. Because that's the thing, like men don't feel safe to talk to women. I have a friend who's married, and there's two sides to every story, right? But the woman, the way she was raised was very like, oh, you're weak for crying, and put like, you know, man up and da da da, like that phrase, right? And it broke him. Like he's a provider, he works hard, he's doing all these things, and here she is doing this. And I had so then they brought me in, and I'm talking, and I'm like, okay, great. And she's like, da 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 da. So I said, look, I understand your resentments.
Shut your ass.
I was like, I understand your resentments. Like you're a mom, you're raising the kids, and all these things. But telling your man he's the piece of, and he's not doing enough, even though he's out there working all day long, and he comes home, and then he got to be a dad. You know, like he's kind of wearing the same hat you are, but now he's providing for the family. You're not giving him space to be like, hey, babe, how's your day? I love you. Like, let me rub your back. You hungry? You know, those small things I feel like go a long way with a man. Just taking the time to consider them because their needs are different than women, right? So just taking the time to do those little things. Kind of like how, you know, when you first start dating somebody, like the honeymoon stage, you do everything for that person. You're so attentive to that person. That's how you should still be. Yeah. Or if you feel anger, talk about it. But I think, like, from what I've seen, at least, a lot of women make it about them and then...
But that happens too. Like, we all get comfortable.
Right.
Like, especially men. We get so comfortable. We work, we come home. Like, we got to bring that stage back.
Right.
Like, we forget as men.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But that's where, if you're in a relationship with somebody for so long, that's where you gotta meet each other halfway.
Yep.
That's why it's kind of like good to have those like check-ins. You know, it's not always like, you know, I hear the other side of it where it's like, well, she's not pleasing me, I'm gonna go find it elsewhere. Is that really the solution? Do you know what I'm saying? Or maybe if you took that same effort that you're going to find it elsewhere and pour it into her, maybe she'll meet you halfway. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes marriages don't work out, relationships don't work out because that alignment is no longer there. That person is maybe your karmic relationship, which basically just means that person was meant to come into your life to teach you a lot of lessons so you can grow. And then you find your true love.
What is that called?
Karmic relationships.
I never heard of that.
Yeah. So
it makes sense, though.
Yeah. So you have karmic relationships or even friendships. People that are just meant to be in your life for a certain period of time, but only because they're there to teach you something, right? And then their job ends. Their purpose in you ends. And then that's when you drift off. That's the hard part because karmic relationships, in terms of like not a friendship, but like a relationship, is very, very difficult to detach from.
I think like one of the saddest things like in a relationship is like, I mean, we could all say this, people that are in relationships are not in one anymore. Mm-hmm. It's like finding somebody, loving somebody, understanding somebody, but you guys are meant to be. Like, it's just the wrong time. Perfect person, but the wrong time.
Yeah.
Like, we hear that all the time.
Yeah.
I know a lot of like people that go through that.
Give me an example.
I know somebody in general, like they were in a relationship. It was like the right person. They chose this person. They chose each other. But just the like situation. It could be like financial. It could be the economy at the time. I don't know. It's just bad timing. But soon as they split, it's like they kind of became better. I don't know.
No, so there are relationships that, because I know people like that too, right? So there are relationships that you meet that person, it's like everything is right with them, right? They're like the perfect person, but you're meant to separate so you can do better. Because you ever realize when you leave somebody who you thought you could never leave, or you see people leave and then they're like they just skyrocket, they do amazing, right?
Yeah.
Because you're pouring more into yourself. It's about loving yourself because you forgot who you were with that person, or you're at a different stage. It doesn't mean that you won't meet that person or come cross paths with them later on in life, right? But I feel like a lot of our purposes, our major purpose in coming into this world, is to remember who you are, find out who you are, loving yourself and what your goal and what your purpose is, and helping somebody else. Going on to the positive things, okay, kind of taking a shift. What else is good energy is high elevated people that come with the energy, like my sister, or like you have motivated culture up here, like just the energy is so it's potent, right? And they pour into you, they motivate you, right?
Yeah.
You have a lot of people in your life like that.
I felt like I do.
Okay. There are people out there, and I never understood that people didn't feel things for other people. Remember, I was working years ago. I was working somewhere, and I was like tearing off of stories I was hearing from like patients and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the guy coworker I was working with, he was like, "Elena, I wish I could be you." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Because I was like, they would crack on me because I was like always crying or something. And they're like, "You just feel everything," and I was just like, "Don't you have sympathy? Like, this is effed up, whatever." And they're just like, "No, I don't care." I'm like, "Seriously?" And this person had kids. And I'm like, "Seriously?" And they're like, "Yeah, like, life happens, shit happens, move on." I'm like, "That's crazy." And he was like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it to you. I feel nothing, you know? And so, like, it opened up my eyes to, like, the difference in people.
You
So,
think because we're cancers?
well, no, I'm saying like we feel things, right? Not just cancers, but there are certain people that are very empathic, and there are certain people that just don't give a f and don't feel things.
Yeah.
Which wasn't aware of. I thought everybody could have some
Like
compassion.
they just go on like living life.
Yeah,
like,
because he was legit like, "No, I don't care. Like, get over it." I'm like, "Yeah, but what if X, Y, Z? Not my problem." I'm like, "What if that was your mom or your brother or your sister? Not my problem." I'm like, "Wow." And they're like, "Yeah, I know." And they were aware of it. They took accountability, but they didn't care, you know? I don't know where that stemmed from, but like that's that. But going to like that, I knew somebody who, she was SA'd from a young age all the way till she was about 12. She never told anybody. And she used to like come to my house, and you should always say like, "Elena, can I stay with you today?" I'm like, "Yeah, mommy, what's up?" And she was like, "Oh no, I just want to stay with you." And I knew something was up. So I always like let her stay, gave her food, cooked her a good meal, whatever. Her father, without getting too personal, like her father came home, I'll just say that, right? That's the day when she was like, I think she was like 12, 13, that she said something, and everybody in the family flipped. And the reason why she didn't say anything, this is why I'm so disgusted by people like this person that did this to her all those years since she was 4, because there was somebody her mother was dating, threatened her and told her, like, "If you say anything, I'm going to off your mother."
oh my God.
And he violated her in the most disgusting ways, And I remember getting, like, I just broke for her. And I'm like, "Why you didn't tell me? Like, why you didn't say nothing to me?" She was so afraid, and this is where I'm talking about safe spaces, right? She was so afraid because of what this man said to her that she didn't want to say anything. So the person that she felt safe with was her father, And I mean, the guy went to jail and everything else, but still, it's just like SA is a very serious subject that people don't talk about. They wonder why. And then, you have 2 different stories. "Oh, well, why doesn't she say anything then? And why didn't she say anything now? And why you hold it in?" Like people don't realize how scary that is to talk about from a man's point of view or from a woman's point of view. And then they wonder why they don't say anything. I had a situation, not to give too much context to it, but I blocked it out. So I went through a lot of things when I was in the system, and I blocked it out because I was in survival mode all my life, right? It got, by recent, I want to say like the last 3 years, got brought up. It only got brought up because somebody was passing that I was close with. I went there and that person was there that did it to me, right? And so
you try to erase that in your head, and then boom, they're right there.
Right. And so we're there for this person passing, and I'm trying to just like, it can't, I forgot the terminology. There's a psychological terminology for it, but I froze. Like I became the 12-year-old little girl that couldn't move in this person's presence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time I was there, like I was shaking. I was like just in shock. And if it wasn't for, my cousins that were there, because somebody said something.
Oh, did you tell people knew?
No, so nobody knew.
Oh, nobody knew.
Right, nobody knew for years. And when I brought it up, it was me and two other people that they were like, "Oh yeah, Elena, you know," because they had been through it, and they were expressing their stories. And at this time, I want to say maybe I was like 25-ish, 26, I don't know. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you never had that done, right, Elena? You're good." And I'm like, "No, that was the first time I brought it up." I was like, "Yeah, no, I've had it done," and I kind of like brushed it off, right? Because the person's child was in front of me that was expressing what she'd been through.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I stopped is because she goes, "Oh, is it my dad?" And I was like, because they kept begging me, like, tell me. I was like, it doesn't matter. Let's just move on from it. I moved on from it, right?
How did they take that guess?
She guessed it.
They probably felt the energy in the room. Like, well, you probably weren't saying it.
Yeah, but you're going to be like, oh, wow, that's crazy, right? She guessed it, and she goes, well, I can't really say anything because that's my dad, so let's change the subject. And I was like, okay. So it let me know by then and there I couldn't be safe, right? Fast forward at this place, and for somebody passing, my sister lied and said something to somebody, right? And then I know people are coming up to me. Now, this person that did it was there, older, very distinguished, very respected by people, and making these like sly comments. Like
that's the scary part, because when somebody's like, well, like,
who's gonna believe you?
Who's gonna believe you?
Well, that's the thing. So short version is, it got back to one of the other brothers. They called me to the room. It was the first time, and this person was like law enforcement, said, you have to tell me what happened, the whole story. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it, right? And I'm like, it's not the time or place, whatever. Anyways, told the story, shaking everything, let it out. That was a good release. Now, the thing about it is that, oh, I know that this person did that because of how I described it. They knew it was them. Mm-hmm. But then goes, this person did it before. So then I'm sitting there. While I'm there, I'm hearing different stories from different relatives of the family saying, oh, yeah, he did. This person's not here because he did this to this girl. It was like 5 of us. So,
yeah, that's fucked up.
Right. And so I was like, then I got angry. I got so angry because towards the end, we were leaving. That's when I had to have this sit down or whatever. And I'm like, I just think it's so revolting to me because they're like, what's wrong? What do you want us to do? Whatever. Because I tried to call this person out because what happened was that person, they're like, why you didn't say anything? I said, because back then, this person said to me, nobody's going to believe you. They're my family, not your family, because I was in the system, right? They're my family. They're my.
And how old were you?
I was 12. Like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I was 11. I had just turned 12. You know, they're my family. They're not your family. Nobody's gonna believe you, so you better not say anything. Then goes, because I used to go down there every summer. Then goes, I'll see you every summer. Cutie pie. That's what they used to call me, like a trigger phrase for me. So while I'm there, while somebody passed, this person, because one of my relatives was trying to that knew about it was trying to like stay in the room and make, because I wouldn't go in that room if that person was in there. So he was like, hey, Elena, come into the room. Not here. I was like, okay. So I could say my goodbyes, right? I go into the room within like 5 seconds. I hear this person's feet because they have a certain walk
Mm-hmm.
come into the room. It's like they were running to the room. And now it's just me and that person. And I'm trying not to look at them. And I'm standing by the person that's passing. And they go, oh, this is probably going to set you up because it set me out. How are those beautiful daughters of yours? I was like, right. I said, what? Don't you? Like, I went off, right? And then they just
You
stood.
fucking cunt.
Right. Like, I just went off. I was like, are you effing kidding me? Don't you ever utter my daughters out of your mouth again. You disgusting piece, like, whatever, right? I walked out. Because
you try to hold it for so long, and
yeah.
now you're bringing the kids. It's,
right.
It just,
yeah. Now you cross, because, like, he would do little, very instigated things like that, instigating me. Like, I'd walk, like, me and my sister were sitting there. He walks by and was like, oh, look at that little cutie pet right there. But nobody thought anything of it.
That's some sick shit.
Right, exactly. So then, again, we're in this room and like, what do you want to do? And I was like, it's just revolting to me. Like, he's done this to everybody that is not family that was in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody believed these other girls. Then you're asking me why I didn't say anything? I was right for not saying anything. And I was like, what's crazy to me is that if it was any one of your blood relatives, oh yeah, everybody would have been all over it. But because it's somebody in the system, y'all don't really care, but you guys want to call us family. Now I feel some type of way, And so the one that was law enforcement was like, well, what do you want us to do? Tell me what you want, what's going to happen. Because that person spoke to him and said, leave her alone. But for all I know, it could have been like, yo, she's about to rat you out. Don't say nothing. Like, that's his brother. Like, don't say nothing, whatever. Keep it calm, cool, and collected, blah, blah, blah. I text this individual because what happens is I came back from being away and I'm at home with the girls and it was just me and the girls and I started having PTSD. Like I would wake up in nightmares thinking that he's coming through the door trying to get me and my kids, right? It was just sick. Like I was in therapy for a while, like weeks.
Yeah.
And I wound up texting because my cousin, one of my cousins, another cancer,
I mean, who wouldn't feel that way?
But that's
like you going through it with this person, and then your kids, like they're involved because of what came out his mouth.
Right.
Who wouldn't feel that way? Yeah.
Yeah. But people, it's just like I kept hearing, "I'll pray for you." I kept hearing, "Get over it." I kept hearing, "Oh, you gotta." This is the best one. Oh, God forgives him, so you have to forgive him. I'm just like, I'm sorry? What? And that's why I was like, if it was your granddaughter, your niece, your whatever, that would have never happened, And so I text the essay, and I said, hey.
In the essay?
The sexual abuser.
Oh.
So I text him. He doesn't say it because I needed to get it out. Like it was killing me inside. It was bad. It was really, really bad. And I texted him. I said, hey, he didn't respond from my number. He knows my number because there's a whole family group chat.
Mm-hmm.
So I texted him from my work number. Like not even 2 minutes later. And just for kind of like to have a witness, I had texted my cousin what I was texting him and screenshotted it so she knew. And so he said, hey, and I was like, is this so-and-so? And the response was, hey, what's up? It is. So you ignored my message, right? Because he probably heard it when he was down there. And then I just went off. And I sent it. I was like, you need to take accountability for your actions. You've done this to way too many girls, and you're still walking around. Like, who knows how many other people he's done this to? And this is why women or people that have been, essay don't speak up.
Yeah.
Because people don't believe them.
I feel like that happens, like, to, like, a lot of women. Like, in general. Like, especially
men
when they're young. But yeah, it happens to men, but I'm saying but that's for men's mental health. But I hear stories all the time, like from women, like when they're young, when they're like 10, 11, or even 9, or even younger. Mm-hmm. And you hear stories all the time, like it could be like, oh, your family member that,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it feels like nobody's going to believe them and they don't know. But that's what you feel bad for, like daughters and stuff. You try to look out as much as possible.
But it's about also talking to your girls or your kids, like, I tell my kids, I was like,
Because kids, you got to listen. Kids talk.
Right, but it's also you creating that platform, right? I tell the girls all the time, like, listen, I don't care if it's a family member, cousin, friend, whatever, teacher. If they threaten you, you come tell me, because nobody's going to have your back better than mommy's going to have your back. I'm not scared of them, you know, because that's what happens. They instill fear in these kids to not say anything, and then they feel like, I can't say anything.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. And then they go years experiencing this. And this is why it's like people hesitate to have sleepovers or whatever. There's a whole thing about it, like, you know.
Yeah, you know, nowadays there's like no sleepovers. And not even just sleepovers. Like, people don't even trust their kids going to like a friend's house.
Yeah.
Without you being there, you're like, no.
And then you feel bad, right? Because you're like, love you like a friend, but
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could play outside. You can't go in the house.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
It's late, you can't go in the house. You can play outside.
And it's just a different world we live in. And it's sad. You know, it's sad, but that's why we got to pour into our kids, be positive, let them feel safe and strong with us.
Yeah.
And
There was a situation with my son when he was in kindergarten, and I try to get like everything out of my son. Before, you know, we were like, oh, hey, how's your day? But you gotta sometimes try to dig deeper.
Right.
I'm like, oh, what was the good part? What was bad? And then one time he told me something, and he like never told us. It'd been going on for like months. He was like, oh, something bad. I don't want to tell you. I go, oh, just let dad know what happened. And I'm not like trying to, because the more aggressive you are, the more they're going to break down. So he's like, Dad, there's this kid that's always pushing me and like punching me in the chest. I'm like, who? He's like,
I can picture you.
My son.
And your wife, like, wait a minute.
He said the kid was a 5th grader. And I got so like fired up, but I tried not to like take it. And then the next day I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the bus stop. I'm going to tell the bus driver.
Yeah.
So I kind of like went off. I was like, where's this kid live at? My wife was like, that's not the right way to go. I feel like if it wasn't for my wife, she goes like the right route. Me, I'm like, yo, we're going to his house. I'm beating his dad up. I'm beating.
Bring him outside.
The brother. Who else? Like,
right.
just knowing like a kindergarten person got hit by a 5th grader in the chest. Like,
yeah, no, bullies is serious.
Yeah. And I try to like tell my son, like, just tell me everything. But he tells me everything. There's other situations he told me, but that was like deep that he told me. I'm like, just let dad know, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to protect you. It's okay.
So I get what you say, like you felt like you didn't handle it right, but you know what your son saw? My dad got my back.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So if you have somebody in the relationship that
But my wife had his back too, but she was more like,
I'm not saying.
We're going to reach out to the school, the parents, the
right.
kid gets expelled, all that. Right. Me, it's like, nah, we're going to the house.
But that's
I'm whooping his dad's ass.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, even though you guys had 2 different approaches, you guys both still had his back and he saw that.
Yeah.
Versus like.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like, go fight him. I'm not
going to say anything.
Because some people be like, oh, go fight him then.
Or they'll be like, I've heard this out of a parent's mouth. Oh, and it was a bad situation that was happening to the kid. And they were like, it's okay, baby. Just, you know, just don't give him any mind. Don't pay attention to it. I was like, you're not going to say anything else?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
I mean, we all play it. Like,
it's kid stuff. I'm like, that's not kid stuff, like this particular situation, you know? But yeah, I'm very like, I don't like injustice type of thing. Like, I get aggravated with stuff like that.
It's like one of those things you try to teach your kids not to be like afraid also.
Well, no, it's the school thing, right? Don't hit back.
But yeah, at one point he told me that about somebody. And I was like, why are you scared of him? Just punch him straight in the face. and then I went back. He was like, should I? I said, ignore him. If he's going to keep doing it, just punch him in the face. He was looking at me like he was about to cry. Like, do I really have to punch him in the face? I said, that's the only way he's going to learn. And then like later, I usually put him to bed. And then later I'm like, all right, Liam, don't punch him in the face. Just stay away from him. But I was like, what am I teaching this kid? And he's like so like scared to do it. He's like, I really have to punch him in the face tomorrow. His face was like about to cry. I felt so bad. I'm like, nah, you don't have to do that.
Well, here, no, there's a different way. But you want them to defend themselves, right?
You do.
That's the thing. Like so my daughter's school knows. She's sassy, my youngest one. But she's a people pleaser. Which is, I used to be that way. So like my girls kind of get that from me. So, but it's just like she went to school, similar situation. Bully was picking on her. She tells me because I knew something was wrong. I was like, "What's wrong?" She tells me, I was like, "Oh hell no."
What'd you do?
No, I I said to her, I said, listen, what do I tell you? I was like, this is your personal space. Nobody's allowed in your personal space. The moment that person crosses your personal space or touches you, you have the right to touch them back. That's me. And I'm like, you're defending yourself because you have to teach your children that vocabulary at that young age, right? And so like I remember one time it happened again. She defended herself because the person was like taking her.
So what she do?
She punched him in the chest.
So you taught without telling, or you did?
So I told her, I said, if this person,
this is how you swing. Duck, uppercut, boom. Kid goes flying. The shoes are still on the floor. The smoke of the shoes.
No, I tell her, I said, if somebody puts their hands on you, you put your hands back. Or if they come in your personal space, that's your right. That's your personal space. You're defending yourself. So the school, what is it? The school, not counselor, whatever calls me. Oh, such and such happened. This is what happened. She's like, they're both in trouble. I'm like, that's okay. I said, like, I just want you to know. I get the school rules. She's not in trouble when she comes home. Mm-hmm. I taught her to defend herself, and that's what she was doing. She told the teacher, because she did all the right things. She told the teacher several times. They didn't do anything about it. She brought it up. She tried to, like, move away. She did all the things she should have done.
They were, like, the same age, the kids?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, no, this kid was a year older. She did all the things. And it was still going on. I'm like, yeah, no, not happening anymore. So she's not in trouble when she gets home. Guess what I'm going to do? Throw a little party for her. I'm so proud of you, baby. You did the right thing.
Throw a party, though?
A little celebration. I was proud of her. Listen.
Not a party, though.
Not the sound effect.
Wow.
Listen, I was proud of her. She stuck up for herself.
That's cool, though.
And I can never mess with her again. Now, I'm not condoning violence, but I'm saying, like, you have to teach these kids to defend themselves. Like,
what if, like, you send your kid out there, just go swing at him, and then he misses, and
this is why you teach.
He comes back with his ass beat, like, damn, daddy's about to go whoop his ass.
But this is why you're like, listen, I'm proud of you for trying, right?
Yeah.
She didn't. It wasn't like a full blown fight, but she stuck up for herself. So that's what I was proud about. Like, she didn't let somebody walk over her anymore. She followed protocol. She did the right things. Still happened. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Let's go get you ice cream.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good. We might have to.
I think there's two different.
No, that's funny.
Look, two different parenting styles, but it's good. It's good.
Talking about my son, there was a situation. We're gonna go back into like the sad side.
That's okay. Go ahead.
There was one sad moment that made me. I think I asked you because I felt like I had something to share too. Mm-hmm. That was like a wholesome moment. There was like something. My son been talking about like riding trains for the longest. Mm-hmm. Like he was playing with trains. He always thought trains were cool. Mm-hmm. I was like, one day I'm gonna surprise him and go on a train one day. And he was like, he had no clue. And I was like, oh, Liam, we about to go to Danbury. Mm-hmm. And he was like, can I bring my iPad? I said, no. He's freaking crying. Like, I can't bring my iPad. Got tears. He don't even care where we're going. I'm like, Liam, we're going to Danbury. You're not bringing your iPad. Right. He's like crying in the back. Tears. Nothing said. I'm like, this kid. If he only knew I'm about to surprise him.
Right.
So we pulled up. It was at the train station. It was for Christmas. Mm-hmm. And it was a Santa Express.
Yeah, I wanted to take the girls on that.
Yeah, so I brought him. And he didn't talk for so long. And I'm like, what is wrong with this kid? I was like, I'm not sure if he's sad or he's happy. But he's smiling now. He's not. There's no tears coming down no more. There's no happy tears. And then right before we got on the train, he turned to me and was like, Dad, like out of like every like Christmas gift, like I think this was the best gift. I never felt so wholesome like ever.
Right.
And I was like,
come here, kid.
Yeah.
Love you. Like I did a good thing. Right.
I was like, wow, that was a dad moment. Yeah. And I was like, and I was thinking like in general, like there was like, wow,
look at you,
I
get
felt
choked
that.
up. Yeah, look at.
No, but it was like certain situations like we don't get that as kids.
Yeah.
So we try to like deliver as like a parent the things we didn't get like when we were younger, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about that? Like you said the same thing like with your mom, the things she didn't do for you.
Yeah.
You do that for your kids, and not that because they didn't do it, but now you feel like because if it was me, I wouldn't deliver, right?
Yeah. No. Well, you talking about like? We asked your question. Sorry.
Just like anything, like in life, like the things your parents didn't do for you or not showing up for you, you do that for your kids.
Right. Yeah. So, I not blaming parents, right? But 1,000%. Like,
We blaming them. Nah, we're not blaming them.
but like, you know, I think a lot of people do that now. Like for me, it's about birthdays and it's about showing up to sports events. Like for us growing up, it wasn't my parents weren't really like, it's either they were working too much or they just didn't show up for those things. I'm real big on that now. Like, you know, I think kind of like piggybacking off of what you were saying in your moment. Oh, that's
Yeah.
it sounded like a toilet. I was like,
Who dropping a deuce?
there's like moments where I think Disney World was one. Bringing one of my kids to like an anime thing because she's like so into anime.
But like you said, just seeing how happy they are, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like but I had that moment where she's like, "Mom, this is like the best day ever." Or like when we.
You're like, yeah, you better. You know how much Disney
Right.
costs? I never been to Disney. My wife been there with the kids, and I'm all like.
So
in general, like I know how much you spend in Disney. I was like, if they only knew your sacrifice and the money
Exactly.
being spent, like.
But it was funny because
this was a lot.
So we brought them to Disney, this past year, yeah, this past year, and so
Pasture?
this past year,
Nah, I heard you.
Me and their, you know, we co-parent, so we brought them to Disney, but we surprised them. First, we weren't gonna say anything because our oldest,
Oh, you surprised them.
yeah, our oldest two always wanted to go, and we couldn't afford it when we were
So how do
together.
you surprise them? Oh, go ahead. It has to like reach. I went from here to like here. How'd you surprise them? Yeah, they woke up. I threw them in the pool at Disney. They were floating. At Animal Kingdom, they were floating. No, but yeah, what happened?
So I recorded. I was like, I called their father. I said we should just tell them, and because I told them we were going somewhere else, I forgot where I said we were going. So they had their bags packed or whatever, and then my oldest one was like, you know, I really wish we were going to Disney. That's like a child. She goes, that's like a childhood moment for me. I wish we had that. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this girl don't even know, right? So she's getting all like dramatic about it. And so I call him up, we're FaceTiming, and I was like, we should just tell him. And he was like, tell him. I was like, yeah, tell him like where are we going. And he was like, all right. So then he goes, they're standing there, and he goes, all right, so we're going to Disney World, right? And all three of them, especially those two, are like, no, seriously. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to Disney World. My oldest one starts tearing. She's like, Mom, don't lie to me, because I swear to God, if you're lying to me, she was like, I swear to God, if you're lying to me, you're gonna break my whole heart. She was like, I'm
fronting you, Mom.
Right? She was like, are we really going? And then my other one was like, seriously, are we really going? Like, are you guys just joking? Are you gonna say psych?
April Fools?
Like April Fools, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and we're like, no, we're really gonna go. They started screaming, and they were so happy. And it was like the other, like I said, the oldest one started crying. She was like, this better not be a prank. I swear this is not gonna prank. I'm not gonna talk to you guys anymore. We left
because it was so like,
yeah, because she's always they wanted to go so bad when they were young, and that's when you want to bring them, right? And it's like couldn't afford it. Like, you know, it's just we couldn't afford it, and so we actually found not a loophole, but we got a good deal or whatever. And
y'all sneaked in. Yeah, you see the thing on YouTube where you can go through the cave.
No.
Oh damn, that's a real loophole.
No secrets.
You go through like one of the caves like that's close to there, and it leads to like Disney like one of like the bathrooms.
You better edit that out. Disney gonna come for you.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, no. Then we got there, and the first thing we did was take a picture of Mickey Mouse. They were mostly
they were hype.
She was so hyped. She was cheesing and everything.
Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah, like that was my like we looked at each other, we did it. Like that was like proud parent moment right there.
But have you been to Disney, or that was your first time too?
So that was my first time.
Oh, that's
I've never
cool.
been to Disney. So like
So you were low key excited as much as them.
Exactly. I was.
Mickey.
Listen, even first time my
but you're trying to hold it in because your kids are excited. You're like, yeah, that's what I do. You're excited too.
My thing was, and we took them to Orlando. I never been to Orlando. Like my sister she went there for like cheer.
Mm-hmm.
my youngest brother, when he was in the foster care, they took him every year, so he always got to go to Disney World in Orlando. So like, I think it's just me and my brother. I think just me and my brother. We never like been there, but we also.
Oh, that never been there. Okay.
Yeah, maybe my youngest sister, but we've never been there as a family. That's the kind of. I think that's the thing that stinks is like as us as siblings, we never been anywhere all together. You know, like they did stuff with my younger. Like we see pictures.
I feel like that happens because everybody has. As much as you try to get people together, people are busy. People got their own family, their own kids, or maybe finance. Like as much as we like, yo, I tried. Sometimes finance plays a big part of.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, I'm gonna make it happen because these are memories that they're never gonna get back.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's just like really about them being happy, experiencing things we never got to experience. Like you said, like low key happy that I was there because I never been there. Me and what was it?
Yo, Mickey, let me get like a separate photo.
we went to Orlando, and you know the movie Sing.
I think I watched Sing once. I didn't watch one or two.
Are you serious? So there's the movie
I don't
Sing.
Nah, I don't shoot up.
Johnny is the guy that plays the piano, right? So my younger daughter like loves him. Got to Orlando, and Johnny's standing outside. I was so happy.
She lost it.
She was so excited, but I was like, I felt like the kid because I'm like, come on, just me and Johnny take a picture. About my children are like, Ma, like, pipe down. It's not that like you doing too much right now.
Ma, you're more excited than me. Right. It looks like. Chill out, Mom.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, those moments I love. I love that a lot. Don't get those bad.
When I think of like Disney, I think of like back in the days, like when you play like Pop Warner. Mm-hmm. And then every time, like you win in Connecticut, and then you win states, and then you go to Florida. Like, oh, we're going to Disney. So you always hear, oh, we're going to Disney.
But they don't.
Oh, you want to hear a true story though? I played in a team. I had like certain people. I don't want to name the people in my team, but we had a good team. I wasn't good because I.
Not you deep in thought. Pause.
Yeah. I don't want to name people, but there was a lot of good people on my team. And
football team.
Yeah, okay. And I play for the Danbury Trojans.
Ugh.
And oh yeah, people that are Vikings, yeah.
Right, Vikings. Over
it's funny because I was a Trojan. Yeah, my brother, we split. He like Viking, Trojan. We went back and forth. Mm-hmm. But we were a good team. I can't even say we. I don't even belong in the team. I was just in the team. I went to practice here and there. They used to be like, "Oh, Davitson, you're fast," but I barely went to practice. I was always going to the Harambe Center, going to break, and half the time I barely went to practice. Mm. And then one time, our team was like undefeated. I think we were like 10-0, 11-0. Like our team was nice. We lost to Bridgeport, but before we lost, I remember my coach. He was like, "Oh, Davitson, you never come to practice, but you show up for the game. How are you on this bus? We're gonna make you work." I was like, "I hope we fucking lose."
Save it.
And so we played the game. Mm-hmm. We played Bridgeport. We lost the game. The whole team is crying. And here I am, like, smiling. I'm not running them laps. That's what I was thinking to my head. But my whole team, now I look back, I was like, why was I in the team? But now to look back, I was like, everybody was, like, so good, like, so much effort. Mm. Here I am. The guy that
mediocre.
Went to practice, like, I didn't care.
I got a question for you.
I think they had to beat Bridgeport. And I forgot.
Bridgeport
and a couple
nice
more teams, then. And then I think to Boston, and then to Florida. Mm-hmm. But I didn't care. I was like, I just played because I don't know if I was even forced to play.
Probably. Davitson go do this. Okay. How come you didn't push further in breaking?
Who, me?
Yes, that's my question for you. So for those that don't know, Davitson was so nice. Like he'd hit every beat. The way he moved, it was just so fire. But then you just stopped. Yeah, low-key fact, fun fact.
Yeah. I felt like, I don't know, as I got older, I kind of like just grew away from it.
I know, but like even before the older came, so we go way back. And he used to be like, this is when, I don't know if you were going to school for this at that time, but like you were doing the instrumental beats and stuff like that. Remember that?
Oh,
the computer.
Is it sounds, oh, you're talking about beats. I thought you were talking about a situation at school.
No. No.
No, I remember there was a situation. There was I think Sounds of Africa. They used to come to DHS.
Okay.
but they just came. They were playing all the instruments. I remember one time I was like, oh, let me just go dance, and I was like dancing to the beat. I was breaking, and I guess people didn't know I danced like that, and I was like really rocking to the
Crowd
beat,
went
Sounds of
for-
Africa. Like everybody was breaking. People were nice. They were spinning, spinning in the air. But I was more like rocking to the beat. I remember that day I just did it just to do it, and everybody was like, wow, you could dance.
Yes, that's the
And I
whole
was like-
thing. I remember the first time I see you get in a circle, I was like, I was hyping you up. I was like, go on,
Yeah.
right? But like, and then you just didn't do it. Like, if you would have applied yourself, that's why, like, even with this, like, you're so talented and you didn't apply yourself.
You know what I think it is too? I feel like
You're insecure.
like as you get older, I feel like the kids nowadays, they're nice. They got moves. Their moves is crazy.
Okay, but
Their
we're not
style's
talking
crazy.
about nowadays. We're talking about then.
Oh, I just felt like I slowed down. Like I felt like there was a spot in my life in general when I was breaking, and I was even watching a video. I was like, "What the hell is he doing?" That's me watching me. But I felt like I probably could have been a dancer. Like I was into dancing all the time,
Yeah.
like you said.
Yeah.
And I felt like I probably could have been a dancer because I was into dancing. But dancing is not going to win you events, right? No, as
that's
much
how you
as
thought.
as much as you're looking as like a skill point, like moves and like flow.
But you
Like I
pop
felt
too,
like
right? A little bit.
I don't know if I brought this up last time I joined an event in Syracuse. To just join, I was like, oh, let me just join this. We were at Syracuse, and it was I don't know how much people was joining,
I went there, right?
but I don't know.
I think I was there.
But I joined a competition just to join it, and then I ended up winning the popping competition. I'm
I
like,
was there. That's what I'm saying.
how the hell did I win? Like, how did I win?
Cause you were nice. Like you flowed and hit every beat, every melody, every high, every low. You hit it. That was so fire to see,
Yeah.
like the fluidity in you. Like just like I was like, oh my god. I was so proud of you. Like just come on, let's go.
Proud that I quit.
You're an ass.
Nah.
So yeah, that's why I'm like, that's why when you have an idea, that's why like throughout the years I tell you, right? Like I'd be like, come on, let's go, Davitson. You could do this, da,
Yeah.
da, da. Whether it was a beat or whether it was dancing or whatever it was, like, yeah.
You're always in the back hyping up.
Yes.
Hype me up.
Have to. I think that's like, I like doing that. Like when I see, like we were kind of talking about
Yeah.
off camera, when I see somebody with potential, I feel like they got potential. It's like, I get, especially if our energies are
I feel
aligned.
but I feel like not even just me. I feel like you're good at that. Like you
Mm-hmm.
push people to the potential. You're like, how do you do that? And I don't know.
How do I think that just, I don't know. I think it's just, well, that's kind of like what I incorporate, like inspire and motivate, right? But it's not just for BS.
Yeah.
It's like, it's either, how do I describe this? Like,
But you make people feel like they should be more instead of like, oh, you're good. Keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anybody could say that.
um,
Like you push people to go to like a certain level, almost.
I think that's because I see stuff in people, and I just like feel it. Like again, like when you, like it's like your son, right? Like if you knew his potential, you know what he's capable of, right? And also you knew what you didn't receive when you were young, right? I'm sure if somebody pushed you, it would be different, right? But then you get hyped for them, and I feel like that energy just pushes, like makes somebody feel good, and I just see that or I feel that in somebody.
something just kicked in. I stopped coaching now. I kind of hung it up. But I was coaching for like 2.5 years. I was coaching.
I know, that was good, right?
I was coaching soccer. The honest truth, like I don't even know soccer like that. Over time, I started learning like, oh, this is this. But as kids, like rec leagues, they don't really care for like offsides. But I started like teaching kids, and I give a shout out to my wife too, because I always wanted to sign for soccer. And then like this is one of the things too. But let me go back to soccer. My son, he had a coach. The coach was like real humble. He was real quiet. He was like, "Hey kids, come here. Hey Jack, go over there." And he's like, "Why is he so quiet?" I was like, "Just tell the kid." So it's like, I give this to like anybody like that coach. It's like it's not easy, but like if you feel a certain way, then you do it. Like I always feel that way. Like I always say, "Oh, look at him do this podcast," and I'm like, "Then you do it," and this is why I'm here now. But in general, like for coaching, I used to be like, "Oh, this guy's not good at coaching. He's not." And then I'm looking at myself as like, why don't I do it then?
Good.
So they were volunteering, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna sign up. Then I didn't sign up because I ended up being at the gym and freaking a weight dropped on my leg.
Oh.
And then like months down the line, my wife signed me up anyways.
Aww.
Maybe I would
Shout
have
out
never
to the
signed.
wife.
Yeah, maybe I would have never signed up, but
Yeah.
I ended up signing up. I ended up liking it because the kids enjoyed like everything, and then
Yeah.
I felt like I was pretty cool at like coaching with kids. Going back, like just being there for your kids, I felt like me being his coach, being there for him. So not even I'm being their whole because I'm his coach. So I'm teaching them and everything. But I'm all like I was trying to give what my parents didn't give to me. That I was my parents barely came to my game, and I just started laughing because I just noticed I didn't start. So I don't blame them. I don't blame them. No, I was all like, yo, they never came to my game. That's because I didn't start. Now to look at it, I'm like,
Yeah. I don't know. Now that you're saying, like, I think why I do. There's not really a why. I think that's just who I am. I mean, big shout out if I will. Like the one great thing is like my siblings and I were loud.
yeah.
Like we're loud. You know that we're loud. And some people it's too much, you know. But like we hype, and I think that's one of the things.
Y'all too much. I'll be like, oh, look, this family.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I'm out. See you later.
We low key get that from my dad though. My dad used to be like a loud party person or whatever. But like I also feel like we kind of did that because of what we all went through, right? So if nobody was gonna support us or hype us up, we had each other's back. And then it started kind of like, you know, with my brother. Back in the day, he was a Viking with somebody else. I don't know if they want me to mention their names. So I'm not going.
Oh, your brother was nice though.
Yeah, he was nice. And you know, remember Mighty Ducks?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The two brothers. I forgot what they were called.
I don't remember that deep.
Seriously.
I just know the Mighty Ducks, and they created the Flying V.
Yes,
right?
but there was two brothers, like the BC brothers or something like that. Whatever they were called, they were like.
Then now that you bring it up, I want to, like, when you ever like try to show your kids like old movies.
Yeah.
And
Bring
I'm
up
like,
Mighty
damn, I gotta
Ducks.
show them old movies now. Mighty Ducks,
See,
one of them.
I teach. Look, we show the kids all movies. Like.
My bad, that's too long.
Anyhow, like my brother and his boy would be like, "Oh, let's get it," da-da-da-da-da. And like that's how I am. So we all like amp each other up. And then like my brother, for example, like he, because now he's an adult. Like I miss that energy, right? But that's the energy I give to them, and I give to anybody. Like, oh, if I see your potential, this is what we're gonna do. Like he had an interview. Shout out to my brother. He had an interview doing amazing. And he's waiting for it, and I was like, "So what you think?" And he was like, "I think it went all right, sis." Like, da-da-da-da. I was like,
What was the interview for?
so it was for a union, for electrician. But
Oh, for a job. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
you meant like he was on
no. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was for union. But like it was something. What happened? That he passed. Something he did that day, and he told me about it. And I was like, just like the me came out. I was like, "That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go, let's go."
Yeah, you always been like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was on the phone, and he got so hyped. He was like, "I didn't even think it was a big deal, but now I'm hyped." Da-da-da-da. But I was like, "You should be." I'm like, "Listen, like you did that. You put in the work. You did that. Those are the things that you went after. Like you should be proud of yourself." And I think that's where it comes from for me. Like I feel like people need to be celebrated or motivated or inspired, no matter how small the idea is. Trickling back to the beginning of stuff, like, because if I know what it's like to have nobody cheering for you, you know, when you hit me up about the podcast, like I told you, like,
As much as like we try to
cut me
like
off again.
which one? Oh shoot, I picked the right one. Cut you off. My bad.
Go ahead.
No, I forgot. I guess I just meant to cut you off.
I was saying, because I know what it's like to not have somebody cheer for me, you know. But for your podcast, thank you. Like I have a podcast setup. Have had it set up for like.
Oh, I did
a
not
year,
know that.
Yeah, like a year and a half. I'm not gonna bring it up because it's, you know, I'm talking. You'll see where I'm going at. But
You should have asked me for help.
I didn't. Well, this is before then. Remember how we were talking about like the fear of being on a podcast, getting over those fears.
That was one of my fears.
Right. We talked about that. So like you coming here, like typically the old version of me would have been like, oh, I don't know.
Both of us.
Yeah, like, I don't know what we should do, whatever. And I was like, yeah, let's get it. Like, it was you. You know, I was like, I'm there. I'm supporting you. Like, I got you. Whatever you need. I don't know what we could talk about. We could talk about whatever you want to. You know? And so it inspired me. So thank you. To kind of like get things going. But that's what, again, bringing it back to you. You don't realize in your journey how you're domino affecting and inspiring other people.
Oh, thank you.
Because your friends are seeing you do this. I see you do this. And even like I've been sitting on it. And now it's like it just motivated me to want to like do more, right? And then you have certain people that you're in line with. You want to keep those people close to you that motivate you, that inspire you.
You're right. You don't realize it until you start doing it. And people are like, oh, what you're doing is pretty cool. Because I felt like I seen the vision. It's hard to see the vision and you're not sure.
Yeah. And
you try to go for something that's not really there because nobody is like kind of in the space. And you try to go for it. But I brought up like a couple interviews ago. I mean, you get confirmation from people like, oh, it's cool. So you're like, oh, thank you. But not too long ago when I got it from my wife, like, I'm so proud of you. Like, they're changing you. And I just felt like, oh, now I feel like it's going up.
Yeah.
Maybe I just needed that. Like,
from your wife?
Yeah.
Accomplishment.
It's time to go up, right?
Feel it?
Feel it. Elena wants to see me cry. I see it.
I bring tears out.
I know.
No, but that's like, again, confirmation. Because you know what it was?
You're going to see tears, and then my screen is going to cut off. All you're going to see is her. The whole interview is on Elena. You can see me crying. I had to cut it off.
You felt validated, though. Like, you're like I told you, like, you have it in you to be successful. Right?
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And she validated that for you.
Yeah.
It's more important from her because that's your wife, that's your baby, and you're a father. Mm-hmm. You're making sacrifices, you know, and you're doing it. And, like, I'm sure everybody that you've had sit here or there, whatever, you've inspired or motivated them. You know, like, it's just...
Not even that. It's like even like just coming out your shell. That was what I wanted to touch on too. Like everybody wants to be somebody, but you have to put some effort towards it.
Right. And it's got to be with the right people. So hence, like you again. Like I told you, I had a few people like, hey, be on my podcast. And I was like, like, you know. And then when you first hit me up about it, like last year?
Hit up my agent, just lie. How many lies you got?
And when you first hit me up about it, I was like, okay. Like it left me before I even thought about it to say yes. Like I said yes, and I was like, and then like kind of that fear kind of stuck in, right?
Yeah.
And then I was just like, just fuck it, like just do it. Right?
Yo, what are we gonna talk about? Yeah.
Right. And so that was you taking me out of my show, but it has to be. If it wasn't you, I probably would have never done it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's why you here.
That's why I'm here.
What was I gonna bring up?
Brush your shoulders off, baby.
I think not too long ago I seen in the text you were talking about like back in the days, like rice and bologna. I wanted to bring that up because I don't think people notice, even my cousins in general. So they're going to see this anyways. Mm-hmm. And they don't know the story. Like, I feel like in general, like people just think like, oh, all he liked to eat was rice and bologna. That's what we ate.
Yeah.
But in general, I feel like
don't judge
sometimes
us.
It's kind of like, it's almost like those, what is it, considered hood food?
Hood food, poor meal.
Poor meal. So it was one of those things that I got so used to eating that I just like that I just kept eating it at one point. And then I remember family members and friends used to be like, damn, you eating fucking rice and bologna? I'm like, yeah, that's good.
Bomb poor meal.
Yeah.
Like, wait till the sides get real crispy in the microwave.
Yeah. And that shit was going in the microwave, not even like on the pan.
The juice going over the rice.
And it's crazy. I didn't even know how to make eggs at the time too. I'm like, damn, I could have just made rice and eggs. But at the time, it was rice and bologna in the microwave. And that's what I was eating all the time. Like, that was like my go-to meal, like my poor meal. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't...
It was that or chicken or rice.
And not to think about it, I brought that up to my wife. I was like, the kids would never know. They're picky. They don't want to eat this. They don't eat this. I was like, y'all never ate poor meal.
Right.
Yeah. Or even rice and soy sauce. Shout out to all the Asian and Cambodian people. Rice and soy sauce all day. Mm-hmm. That's like what we ate to keep full. My wife think I'm crazy. When I leave the gym, I'm like, oh, protein meal, rice and eggs. I'm like, babes, you want some? She'll look at me like, no, I'm good. My wife is all into diet, so she sees me eating like rice and eggs. She's like,
I made that for the girls.
It's so
like,
Asian.
Right. I said, like, here you guys go, rice and eggs, right? Chopsticks. little sriracha.
It's so good though.
Yeah.
Sriracha, soy sauce.
Exactly. Or we used to eat like the cut up hot dogs and fry the hot dogs up, or kibasi.
Damn,
With the
she
rice.
went deep. We have to say that part. Cut it out.
Poor meals.
Poor meals.
They were so good though. They were so
Yeah, imagine making a podcast episode of like poor meals.
That'd be dope.
Oh, that's dope.
Gotta hit the button.
Sponsored by Poor Meals.
No, there's a lot of.
Yeah, that's funny.
Ramen noodles.
Did you eat a lot of noodles?
At your house, yeah.
Wow.
I had somebody tell us that we know. She was like, because it was the 8. Look, to this day, I buy the big boxes. I can't have it like that now because there's so much damn sodium in them. But back then, it was always like the silver packet, the mama noodles. With
Oh
the shrimp flavor.
shoot, you went back.
Still to this day is my favorite.
Do you remember people used to eat them like chips?
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
just like put hot sauce in it sometimes.
That's
Shake it
another
up.
poor meal. Like if people don't know, like a lot of Asian people, they used to crunch chips, especially the mama chips,
Yeah,
and then the
mama
other,
chips.
I think it's mama too, but they used to put all the sauce in there, not the oil one, just the pepper, and they used to crunch
yeah, that
it.
came with it, right? And, then
And we
shake
used to eat it like chips. Like every
Like
Asian
those-
knows about this. Like
Yeah.
that was our chips back in the days because the pack of noodles were so cheap, and all we did was put the pepper in there, crunch it
Couldn't
up,
tell us anything. That was our
and
snack.
that was our chips back then. And now these kids are spoiled. Like yeah.
I remember the first time I had a sidebar because there's some things
A
in
what?
the Cambodian household I wasn't used to eating. I had walked in a house and you guys were all you guys were eating the chicken and the egg that was still like the chicken was still there.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't know the American name, but Pongte Kon.
yeah, that.
Yeah.
And
I was eating it at one point too. I was like, oh, this is good, but no, I can't.
listen, I saw you guys eating that. I walked in the house and you guys were all laughing at me because I thought I was gonna throw up. I'm like, how are you gonna eat the chicken? That's so nasty. And you're like, oh, this is a delicacy. I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. And Ma was like, come on, eat. You too skinny. I'm like, no, it's okay, I'm all right.
My mom always says that.
Yeah, you too skinny.
To everybody, too skinny.
Here, baby, eat.
You need to eat.
Right.
Yeah. I forgot the eggs are like huge. Like if the eggs weren't big, I was gonna do a prank on my wife if she was gonna make eggs in the morning, and one of those came out.
Has she ever? You don't eat those at all? She's never seen you eat those.
I know she haven't, but I was gonna do a prank, but I don't know if that's like
Well, she's
pushing
gonna
it.
see this now, so you can't do it.
You think that's too far? You think she would be traumatized if
Maybe a little bit.
she tried to make a
Yeah.
fried egg and a fucking bird came out? It's all dead.
A little bit. I think so.
You want to hear a funny story? So I was eating it for a while. Not to look at it.
Bologna and rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was dating this girl, and then she surprised me. So I heard a knock at the door. I was eating rice and bologna. I'm sitting in the living room.
I know.
No.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
I already knew what you were talking about. Go ahead.
you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. So I remember like it was yesterday. So I'm watching TV, chilling, feet up and all that on the couch, and I'm eating rice and bologna. So I'm chilling, and there's always like 3 bolognas I have. For some reason, 3 bolognas and rice. So as I'm like chilling, eating, I heard a knock at the door. I'm like, who the fuck? I looked in the Pico. I seen that it was my girl. I was like, oh shit! I threw all the shit in the garbage.
Seriously?
I said, babes, what's up? I was like, I don't know why I was embarrassed. I threw all that shit away, but I'm all like, wow. But I remember that story. I
Yeah.
threw it all away.
You were
And she was
embarrassed?
like, babes, how you doing? She was like, why do you smell like salami or something?
Bologna.
A better understanding is bringing on people that are low-key famous. That was my purpose of bringing people on. Not just the... everybody.
Right.
But
I think
anyways,
that's
what is
dope.
today?
So today, the reason why it's really good to do this podcast is because it's the Lionsgate portal.
And it would be today.
It is today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lionsgate portal 88.
Hey, we believe in stuff like that, I'm saying.
Yes. Of course, it's not for everybody, but in the realm of astrology and the spiritual sense of it all, and people that believe in like awakenings, manifestations, which is just another form of prayer, just putting that out there. Setting intention. It's so powerful because it comes from like Leo energy, which is Leo energy is very like dominant in terms of like passion, drive, discipline, and like I'm going after what I want, right?
Mm-hmm.
No BS. So the Lionsgate portal is about going for it, which is kind of why I was saying like you don't want to wait, what we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's symbolic in that sense. So it's like, even like today when I was feeling like a little hesitant, I was like, oh no, this happened for a reason. On today, I gotta go because it's gonna set the trajectory of everything else that you're doing.
Yeah.
You can't stop.
Oh no, that's dope.
Yeah.
It's funny because I wasn't sure. I was like, "You ready?" And it's crazy. Today's that day though.
Yeah, exactly. And the days also like this is where, for those that don't know, like you're manifesting your higher purpose. So when you're applying action to that, when you can set aside time, you know, obviously I'm not sure when this is gonna post up, but like you set aside time to manifest or set intention. So that could have just been you like you were saying you were studying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're setting intention. Like I'm getting prepared. I'm doing what I got to do. I see the vision. I when we were talking about the, you know, the other thing, I want to go for it. And then on top of it, it's also the week of the full moon in Aquarius, which is powerful because yes, full moons are about releasing, but Aquarius energy is really rebellious. It's the visionaries. They're the visionaries of the zodiac. They beat to the sound of their own drum. They're meant to leave impact on people. You know?
Yeah, it's dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
One more question. You read, right?
Oh yeah.
You read
books.
You see behind you?
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at them earlier. Yeah.
Did you read any of those books?
Yeah, I actually have. I've read The Power of Now. I've read The 7 Habits of... Yep, The Subtle Art of... I saw you with this one. I was like, oh, that's dope.
You want to hear something funny? I like getting the books, like collectibles. My wife, she's a big reader. Like she reads. Like she reads more than she watches TV.
Yeah, that's how I am. I have like a library at my house.
But the honest truth, I more listen to audiobooks.
That's not bad.
So after I'm done listening to an audiobook, I buy the book. And then sometimes I read. So that's the honest truth. That is cheating. I think it's okay because I could be working, I could be doing something else, driving, and be listening to the book, and then be like, oh, I went through the book, and people are like, did you read it? I was like, does it count? Yeah, I read it.
Well, that's the day and age, right? Some people are audio, like they like to read the audiobooks or listen to the audiobooks. I tried that. I can't do it. I'm such a I'm nostalgic.
But I feel like you could do it if you're like cleaning, you driving or working.
No,
like,
can't do it.
Damn, not even a chance.
I tried, but because I'm so nostalgic that way, I'm like vintage. Like, give me the book with the dust, and I want to go through the pages, type of thing. You know?
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised you don't got. You know what's another good book? Russ, you read his book?
Audiobook.
Oh, you got a.
What was the name of his thing?
The book? Damn, I can't remember what the name of it is. Hold on.
It's about
I love that. I must have read that book a few times.
Yeah, I listened to the audiobook of it.
Get out of your way.
Almost like that book.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's dope. It's a dope book.
But yeah, that's definitely us though.
What's the most recent book you read or listened to? Not the air quotes. I mean, you.
Notes at work. I had no choice.
Oh man, this is gonna be good, David. This
That's
podcast is gonna blow up. Watch, especially manifesting is going through today.
But anyways, we're gonna end the episode. Tell the viewers where they can find you.
At Love Me Keep Me Safe Instagram handle.
Remember, I thought it was love what?
It's Love Lover of Words. That's what it says. But it's Love Me Keep Me Safe is the handle.
I almost said the wrong thing.
My
but
book's
anyways,
coming out soon, so I'll give that to you.
I got you.
Yeah.
But anyways, make sure you subscribe and like. The link will be below. See ya.
Bye.
Love. That was fun.
That was fun. That was good. Ooh.